T20 champions India. T20 champions India.
Hello everyone, welcome to post-match live session. I'm Suryakumar Yadav, your host for the day. And South Africa have won against India by 5 wickets. It's India's first loss in this T20 World Cup. India first won against Pakistan, then Netherlands, but this is their first loss. But there's so many things to talk about from this match. First, we saw India's innings, India's batting 49 for 5. And then Suryakumar Yadav happened. In that case, we'll talk about Suryakumar Yadav, but then India's bowling, then India's batters. Was there a wise decision to bring in Deepak Hooda in place of Akshar Patel? A lot, many more things. But to discuss all of that with me, here I am with Vineet Ramakrishnan. Hi, Vineet. Vineet, you're on mute.
Hello, Soumya. Yeah, lovely game.
Yeah, it was an exciting game. It was really interesting because, while I was just giving the intro, you might have heard that, how we were 49 for 5, and then Suryakumar Yadav happened. And then everybody, had their hopes high that, okay, Suryakumar Yadav is there, we'll get to a good score. And eventually we did also because the position we were at, it was quite tricky. But then we went on ahead. And then Arshdeep Singh happened, the 2 wickets in his first over. All those things were there to give all Indian fans a little more hope. But at the end, we have lost this match, the first loss in T20 World Cup. We need now, I have talked about batting, bowling. There's another aspect to be talked about, that's fielding. Where do you think that India lost this match, or where did they let go of their hopes in this match?
To be honest, look, after winning the toss, it was a good toss for Rohit Sharma to win. And looking at the pacey pitch at Perth, I expected India to bowl first. To be honest, have a go at India. So that was one of the things that I was a bit surprised by, that India opted to bat first. But it was the first 6 overs. I mean, it was as plain as that, clear as the sky. Lungi Ngidi picking up those 3 wickets in the power play is where India lost the game. I would suppose, and Suryakumar Yadav's innings was again superlative innings, and that was the only reason why India managed to reach the score of 130. And after that, Arshdeep did well with his first spell. But I think to answer your question, the turning point, or what did India lose the match, it was the first 6 overs, and then again the culprit being the openers, KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma. I wouldn't fault him that much, but KL Rahul going out, Rohit Sharma getting out. You expected somebody like Virat Kohli to perform, but then again, I mean, he also went out early. You can't fault him for that. So yeah, for me, it was the first 6 overs of how South Africa bowled.
Absolutely, because it was really very disappointing for all the fans to see 49 for 5. And you talked about KL Rahul, we have been talking about KL Rahul from quite a long. It's been a long time we have been talking about, and with us, we also have Chetan Narula here. Hello, Chetan, welcome to the live session.
Hi Vineet, hi Suramya. Thanks for having me once again. And of course, we're bringing you all the updates and discussion from Australia, where another Match Sunday, really Match Sunday. This tournament is making a habit of Match Sundays. But this time, India on the wrong end of the stick, losing the game. And honestly, I think South Africa were the better side overall in terms of bowling. Their pace attack really had India on the ropes. And of course, with batting, they were able to counter India's pace attack in the right manner. And of course, the game was really interesting. But at the end, of course, I think the better side won.
Absolutely. And Chetan, before you joined us, Vineet and I were talking about KL Rahul. And I would like to, know from you at this point of time, that why KL Rahul? Every time, if we see the last 2 matches, let's leave this match, the last 2 matches, after every match, people were questioning why KL Rahul. Now, today, again, people were thinking, okay, one more match, because yesterday in the press conference, it was said that it's not the right time to judge KL Rahul, not enough matches to judge what his caliber is. But today, again, just 9 runs. Why KL Rahul? Why not anyone else at his best?
Look, I think it's very easy to say, okay, KL Rahul is responsible for this loss, but I wouldn't say so. I think it was not the right time for India to make a change. like I agree with Vikram Rathore. I mean, you first three matches was always going to be really tough for India to qualify from the group. Obviously, Pakistan's loss to Zimbabwe has made things a little easier. If Pakistan had won that game, Pakistan would be on equal points, 4 points, and it would be really wide open. And then you can say, okay, you know what, India needs to make changes. India needs to make changes. But the whole situation was such that India was really comfortable, and you did not want before this game, you did not want to make changes. Two games is too early. Um, but now, India has two relatively easy games, Bangladesh and Zimbabwe. I still get the feeling they will give him one more chance against Bangladesh. I know Suramya is really smiling and she's like, "Arey, ye kya bol rahe hain?" But they will probably give him one more chance against Bangladesh, and if not, because it is important to notice that Dinesh Karthik went off the field today, and Rishabh Pant came in to keep wickets as a substitute. So if Rishabh Pant is as it is playing, then Rahul will obviously play if Dinesh Karthik is ruled out. It's too early to say India's game is on Wednesday, but I think maybe just one more game, and then before the semi-final, they'll have to make a decision to give Rishabh Pant, depending on fitness and other combinations, whether to, how to play and how to go about the whole situation. So maybe I could be wrong, but I feel maybe just because today, see, the thing is, today the excuse is the entire batting failed, apart from Suryakumar Yadav. I mean, Rohit failed, Virat failed, Hardik failed. So you can't. That's not how Team India operates, or that's not how the management operates. They will not say, okay, you know what, we just lost the game because of KL Rahul's dismissal. So they're going to take the whole picture and consider it. And I think Adelaide, with a little more batting friendly track, maybe not like this, they will give him one more chance.
Chetan, very interesting you talk about KL Rahul, and I also do feel, at least with two relative games to come up, Rahul may, still find his place. But I have a question for you specifically with the change that we saw today. Deepak Hooda coming in for an Akshar Patel. It was evident that Akshar would not have been used as much because South Africa have three left-handers, but that did make India's bowling vulnerable in the sense you didn't have an extra six bowler to go towards, and your fifth bowler Rajendran Ashwin 4 overs 43. Do you think that is where the game changed, or that was where India lost out? That kind of selection, or do you think there's more to it than that?
No, I think the selection was right. It just didn't work out. I mean, they saw the pitch. I mean, I would love to see a test match on this pitch. It was absolutely bonkers pitch, absolutely dream pitch for fast bowlers, and even India's fast bowlers. You look at the way Arshdeep bowl, the way Shami bowl, Hardik bowl. I mean, Bhuvi also bowled really well, but probably India lacked a bit of pace in terms of Arshdeep and Bhuvi. I mean, you look at. I was just watching the clock. The speed gun was saying 133, 135 for Enric Nokia for Lungi Ngidi. And I was like, no, this is quicker, because the way I was watching it live here at the game, and it was coming so quickly, so quickly. So South Africa used its pace battery a lot better. They are overall quicker bowlers, overall faster bowlers. Um, I don't think India got it wrong in the sense, in terms of the team combination. What would Akshar Patel have done here? Nothing. Absolutely
Absolutely,
nothing.
yeah.
His bowling would have been moot. They decided to go in with a extra batter, and okay, if need be, he will bowl an over. But obviously, there was no need. Um, I don't think they got it wrong. It just did not work because South Africa, oh my God, that pace bowling attack is amazing. And even in the tournament preview, if you remember, and if our audience remembers, I had mentioned that South Africa are the dark horses in this tournament, given their experience and their depth in batting and bowling. And even in the preview today, this morning preview of this game, I had written how 12 out of these 15 South African players are IPL contracted. They're playing T20 leagues across the world. And these are not flashy cricketers. These are cricketers who help build squads, T20 squads across the world. So they do a job. And today, South Africa came and they did a job with both the bat and the ball. And it was, yes, it was really interesting, really intriguing, but it was also an amazing game.
Amazing
Yeah.
game. Just one more question on that follow-up thing. Do you think this was probably the right, or probably the opportune time to have somebody like a Dinesh Karthik bat up the order and not have somebody like a Deepak Hooda playing for the first time? give
But they
that
don't
kind
do
of
that, do
a
they?
scenario to him, but they don't
But
do
they don't
that. I
do
mean,
that. I
that's the
mean,
case.
उनका बस चलता तो
But
पहले शमी,
it would have
अश्विन,
it would have
अर्शदीप,
made
भुवी सबको
sense to
भेज देते.
it would have
Sorry,
made
go
sense
on.
to me to have Dinesh Karthik. It would
No,
have
no, no.
made
I was
sense.
actually
I'm saying
surprised.
to have Dinesh
नहीं,
Karthik.
I was actually surprised they sent him at 5 down. At number 7. I thought पहले शमी को भेजेंगे, अश्विन को भेजेंगे, भुवी को भेजेंगे, अर्शदीप को भेजेंगे, फिर लास्ट की 10 बॉलें जब रह जाएंगी, maybe then they will send Dinesh Karthik, because it has never made sense to me. And obviously in a situation like today, it doesn't make sense because he's not played in this situation throughout. He's just played the last 10, 15 balls. He's never had to rebuild knocks and everything, and it's just, I can go on and on. It's just maddening, this finisher thing. And I don't want to wish ill on anybody, but I read a tweet ki, okay, you know what, hope the DK gets injured. Let's not wish ill on anybody. But
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how India, with Rahul's form, with DK's fitness issue, let's see how it goes. And while I'm talking, Arshdeep and Ravara are having an interesting conversation. Kings 11 Punjab mates catching up.
Yeah, and well, we have talked about so many things, especially about the batters. So, today, well, we have lost this match, but there is one positive, and we all have appreciated that performance, and it's none other than Suryakumar Yadav. Chetan, what do you have to talk about this guy? Because this guy has been phenomenal. First match, you see, second, and now this one. When India were 49 for 5, he came in and there was no tension on his face. He was just as calm. What do you have to say about his performance?
This guy bats on a different pitch. Every time he comes out to bat, he bats on a different pitch. Suramya, we had discussed India's preview to this World Cup,
Right.
and we had talked about the big change from last year, and it was India's batting strength now relies completely on Surya Kumar Yadav. And I think, yes, Virat Kohli had that magical performance against Pakistan. Yes, it was a clinical performance against Netherlands. But you look at the conditions today, you look at that pitch today, he was batting on an absolutely different track. He was playing the situation, he was playing the bowling. Yes, the ball was bouncing around when he was batting, but he just brings something different to the table which you cannot put a finger on because it's totally unorthodox. And I've been watching him bat in the nets, and he doesn't practice those shots. It's maddening. He doesn't practice those shots. He'll play proper orthodox textbook shots in the nets, और pitch पे जाके कुछ switch flick कर जाता है, and he comes out with those shots, and you just can't make head or tails of it. But it is effective, and it is doing wonders for India, and he's done wonders today. And in fact, he took that catch also. I think I want to point this out. India were absolutely on it. The intensity was really good on the field, and they were
True,
doing really well. And then that catch drop happened, and nobody could. I don't think 50,000 people at the ground, they could believe it. And then
true.
shortly afterwards, a run out was missed, a
Mm,
simple run out chance. Though Rohit didn't release the ball early enough. Those two incidents, I think, just vaporized India's intensity. At that point, it was about taking that one more chance that either Markram or Miller would give you, and those chances were let go. And
mm.
after that, I think India did not recover that intensity, and that was the real turning point of the game. Otherwise, what we've witnessed today is, we talk about bat and ball being 50-50. Today it was probably 60-40 or 65-35 in favor of the ball. But what a brilliant contest. And it was seesawing throughout, but that fielding performance really cost India.
Absolutely. And well, Chetan, you talked about when we were previewing Indian team, and you remember we talked about Suryakumar Yadav, and we said that he's that kind of player where people say that Suryakumar ka ana abhi baki hai, and and the hopes lie there. So that's what we saw today, and that,
Yeah,
and that got
absolutely.
real. Yeah.
Sorry.
So and that got real today. That we were talking that time, it got real today.
Absolutely, and we had also talked about how South Africa had played in conditions alien to them when they
Mm.
had toured India and everything, and this is where their real prowess really comes forth. I wouldn't be surprised if they go deep into this tournament. Of course, a lot depends on the Pakistan game, uh, but I think they're looking really really good.
Yeah, absolutely. On that note, thank you so much, Chetan, for joining with us. Thank you for giving your time. And as I always say that Chetan will be joining with us in other matches also, so stay tuned with us.
Absolutely. Heading off to Adelaide next, and we'll be bringing you more live updates from the practice, talking about India's chances, the overall tournament, and of course, joining you post the India Bangladesh game from Adelaide. Until then, keep watching Cricket Next, and see you soon.
Yes, thank you so much, Chetan. So that was Chetan with us live from Australia. And we need Chetan left us with a very important question. That's about fielding. Fielding, is very important aspect of the match. And we actually highlighted that point at the start of this live session also. Do you think that's another very important point where we lost the match today?
Look, yeah, that's very good. I mean, something that we missed at the start also, the fielding bit, and that was just basically as Chetan mentioned, that brief period of 2-3 overs of Virat Kohli dropped that catch, and then you had Rohit Sharma's missed run out. Those were big. I mean, that was Aiden Markram and David Miller. I think Markram's being dropped, even though he got out four runs later, but Miller did make the difference. But then again, look, you cannot put those two chances as the reason for the loss. Yes, one of the reasons, of course, but then again, it's not a pattern. You're not seeing a pattern here. India were largely very good in the field. They have been very good in the field largely in the tournament as well. And the drop came from whom? Virat Kohli. I mean, he's one of the best, absolute best. When it comes to catches, everybody was shocked. I mean, even the commentators were saying, I mean, it's Dale Steyn, if I'm not wrong, was there, and he was speechless. He said, "I'm speechless. I haven't seen Virat Kohli drop catches. It just happened. It just happened." But then again, I mean, there's always a saying: catches win you matches. That catch that Kagiso Rabada took off, I think, of Virat Kohli, or it was Hardik Pandya, I think,
Hardik
one of the
Pandya,
best,
wonderful catch it
one of the
was.
best catches of the tournament. I mean, that also you could say like mini game changer, so to speak. What if Rabada had grasped that opportunity, and Hardik Pandya and Suryakumar Yadav would have taken India closer to 140 or 150, something they did in the Asia Cup for against Pakistan. So those are the small moments in these games that you in hindsight can look back and say, this is where the game changed, or this is where the game changed. But honestly, I mean, such close contests, such amazing teams, and it was a low scorer. 130 odd. Even South Africa struggled big time. To get to that score, and it was only because of Markram and David Miller's fantastic knock, and it was like a matured knock. It was not like they went all guns blazing. They just maneuvered the chase really well. So it's about those finer margins, to be honest. And yeah, as you get the Markram image out, again, he has shown that why he is one of the most dangerous players in the middle order in T20 cricket. And as Chetan rightly mentioned, I mean, these are the players where squads are built around. Aiden Markram, it's no coincidence that he averages over 100 in the middle overs in T20s this year, and David Miller is the most experienced South African T20 player they have right now. And look at the way he started. He was playing second fiddle to Markram, and when Markram got out those two sixes of Ravichandran Ashwin, that 17th over, I mean, we both were discussing this right before we went live, that this could be the game changing over. And you know what, David Miller delivered at that exact point with those two sixes and put that game out of India's reach then and there itself.
Right, absolutely. And we saw some really great performances from both the sides, be it South Africa or the Indian team. One such great performance from the bowling side was of Arshdeep Singh. But we need there lies a question, we got two early wickets, okay? But then often we see that there is a dry spell of wickets in between, in middle overs. Do you think that it's like a pattern now, or do you think that no, it wasn't a big thing in this match?
No, I wouldn't put it as a pattern, because look, any team when they lose two early wickets, let's say in the first 2 overs or 3 overs, there's a tendency to preserve, right? They won't go,
Right.
or they won't go after the bowlers. There would be a dip in run rate. So what does those two wickets does is it hinders the opposition's ability to go or exploit that power play overs. So that way, I mean, India's done well. I mean, there's no of way faulting both Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Arshdeep Singh. Look, we were all talking about pace and bounce and everything. What Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Arshdeep Singh showed was, if you have two quality bowlers who know their skill set, who can swing the ball, beat any condition, be it a dry pitch or be it a bouncy pitch. They can produce wickets, and they can put opposition on the back foot on any kind of condition. That is what you saw here. One of the biggest positives from this game was Suryakumar Yadav. Second biggest positive is Arshdeep Singh, the way he swung that ball in those conditions. And look, this is a perfect combination, so to speak. Bhuvneshwar, Kumar, and Arshdeep Singh. We were all talking about leading up to this game. 130 wale bowlers hai, kya karenge, kya karenge. Look at the skill set these two guys gave you. Two swing bowlers. Nobody in this tournament has that luxury, but India does. And you also have an add-on, Mohammad Shami, for pace as well. So that way, look, this looks very good. For India, the only thing concerning was, look, they didn't have enough runs on the board to defend. Otherwise, this bowling unit would have been able to defend if it was a 140 that they were defending. Just another 7-10 runs maybe, and this could have been a game that India could win.
Yeah, well, this is one of the positives that we need to carry on for our next game against Bangladesh. We need to remember, whenever we do these live sessions, at the end, you used to tell us that, what can we look for in the next match? I remember in the previous live session, you said that, it's the pitch, it's the South African bowlers to look at in this match, like India versus South Africa match. But now here we have lost this match. And now when we'll be facing Bangladesh, what we should think of.
Look, for India, it's a very quite straightforward in the fact that, look, India can still go up and top the chart, top their group. So their semi-final position is pretty much okay. I mean, Bangladesh, they themselves have had not the greatest of tournaments. Yes, they did win a close game against Zimbabwe, but that was a game they should have sealed, very much. It should not have gone down to the wire. So Bangladesh should not be that kind of a competition to India, especially in Adelaide, is what my thinking here is. There's Bangladesh and there's Netherlands game for India. So they're pretty much sorted there. What this win has done is only South Africa have gained something from this, because they strengthened their position as a second team to go from this group to the semi-finals. It could be, bye-bye for Pakistan, technically speaking. Mathematically, they are still in. But from an Indian point of view, look, they'll look past this defeat, because as I said, as I mentioned at the top of the show, India really lost it out on the first 6 overs, and that was expected. The kind of pace Norkia, Rabada could generate, and they got somebody like a Lungi Ngidi, who was an actual game changer. So, to be honest, he was a man of the match, I think, for his 4 wickets. So India were on the back foot right from the start, and they were behind the 8 ball throughout this match. So it was a game where, as Chetan mentioned, the better team won. India would not be too much disheartened with this loss. They will move on. They know that this was one of the games where they could have afford to lose, because the next 2 games with Bangladesh and Netherlands, it's easy peasy for them. I mean, not Netherlands, sorry. Zimbabwe, sorry, yes, Zimbabwe. So easy peasy. I mean, they'll still go through. So I won't think India would be too much bothered or flustered about it. But yeah, as Chetan mentioned, KL Rahul is still a worry, but it's Bangladesh. They'll probably give a go for one more game for KL Rahul. But again, also one more thing that he mentioned about Dinesh Karthik's injury. He was in a bit of pain. That's something that would make things interesting. So that's, I think, going into the next match, I think more than the pitch, more than the team, that's Dinesh Karthik's injury update would probably be the most trending keyword for now for the next 2 days.
Absolutely. And Vineet, I assure you that in next live session, we'll begin from that point only, because that's very crucial point to discuss on. On that note, thank you so much, Vineet, for joining with me. And
thank
you. Thank you so much, Vineet. And on that note, thank you everyone for joining with us in this post-match live session. Well, it's first loss for India in this T20 World Cup, but only positives to take on from this match. We saw great performance from Suryakumar Yadav, Arshdeep Singh, and we expect some really great performance in the upcoming matches. So stay tuned with us for our next live sessions and other videos on our Cricket Next YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on various social media handles, on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram pages. Till then, enjoy World Cup. Thank you.
The World 2020 Champions India